Okay, so today we're talking about PMDs, pump mounted driver. This is your fuel control module that is mounted right on the pump. It's a really bad GM design, one of the bad designs that they did. And so here's your pump, and right to the driver's side of the pump, right down there in that hot valley, that is your PMD, your pump mounted driver. And they fail a lot. And the reason they fail a lot is because that control module naturally gets hot all by itself. But so if you put a hot electronic control module inside of a hot engine, it's just gonna fry itself. It's just gonna melt and not operate, and then you're gonna have all kinds of drivability problems, or maybe it won't start. So the place that I put them, a lot of people put them down here by the in the bumper, like on the inside of the bumper here, and that's nice. But for me, I think that the best place to put this, since it's the fuel control module, so the engine control module or the powertrain control module is in the cab of the truck. It's behind the glove box. So I want to put my fuel control module in the cab of the truck. It's protected from the weather, and it's out of the elements, and it's just a good, safe spot to put it. So here's where I put mine. I put mine here. I mounted it right on the parking brake pedal. And the reason I did that is because I never use this. I do a lot of towing and hauling, but I never use my parking brake. I have a brake pedal depressor that I put on the brake pedal here, and then when I'm loading the trailer, instead of just having my parking brake engage my truck parking brake, well, if I use the brake pedal depressor, now I have all four brakes in my truck and then all four brakes on my trailer. It's a much better way to go for me. So anyway, so I mounted it here, and you can't just mount your fuel control module because it naturally gets hot. They sell these cooling fins, and this helps cool the module. So I think it's a smart place to put it inside the cab, because wintertime, obviously it's cold, so that's no problem. But in the summertime, if you put it behind your bumper, it's still going to be 100 degrees outside. So, but in the cab of the truck, I got my AC cranking, and you know, it's better and more protected. So this is what I just replaced this one because it was bad. And this fuel control module, or PMD, is only 6 months old. I just replaced this 6 months ago, and I've been restoring this truck. This is a 95 truck. It's got almost 100,000 miles on it, and I've been fixing it up and restoring everything on it. And I had replaced this and relocated it 6 months ago. But what this PMD was doing was it was causing me to stall out, and occasionally I had no throttle response. So I could romp on that gas pedal all I wanted, and nothing would happen. It was like the gas pedal didn't even exist. So these things are really problematic. They cause so many different drivability problems. They'll set weird check engine lights. This one here, I would stall out. I could be doing 60 miles an hour. I could be doing 20 miles an hour. I could have my foot on the brake pedal coming up to a stop sign, and it would just stall out. So that's what this was doing, and no throttle pedal response whatsoever. So I didn't like that at all, so I swapped it out. But I also noticed that when I start the truck with the new PMD, it smokes a lot less. You know, these 6.5s, you're always going to have a little bit of smoke at the first start of the day. But with this old PMD, it would fill my shop. My shop would be full of smoke, and I was like, oh, you know, it's cold out. But with the new PMD, there's a tiny little puff of smoke now. I mean, it's much better. So, but these things cause all kinds of drivability problems. So my recommendation for you is, if you own a truck with a 6.5, don't skimp out on these. Buy the best of the best of the best. Don't buy a used one. Don't buy one off of eBay or whatever. Buy a brand new one. The one I just put in, I got from Quad Star Tuning. I got a lot of parts from them, and they've gained my trust. So, and it comes with a lifetime warranty. But I also recommend having a spare because they cause so many different drivability problems. If you have a spare, well, now you can simply unplug the old one, plug in your spare, and if the problem goes away, you know what's happening. And then the other thing is that inside here, you want to get the resistor, and the resistor goes inside this connector. And you can get different resistors. I use a number 5, but it comes with a number 5 and a number 9. And the bigger the number, the more fuel is going to be put in your engine. So if you use a resistor number 9, it's going to dump in a lot of fuel. Resistor number 5, it'll dump in a moderate amount of fuel. So I like to go with a 5 personally. But again, don't skimp out. Buy a quality PMD or fuel control module and a new resistor, because the resistors, I mean, once it's in there, you're probably not going to get it out, and if you do, you might damage it. So I think they're one-time use resistors. So buy a spare, keep it in your glove box or your center console somewhere in the cab of your truck with the resistor already installed. And that way, if you stall out or the truck won't start, boom, you can unplug the old one, plug in the new one. It's a plug and play. You just plug it in, and then you can get where you're going and then properly mount it later, when you get home or whatever. But so these 6.5s are great. They're really, really dependable. As long as you have a spare one of these and you fix a couple of GM engineering problems, you do that, and your 6.5 will start every day and run every day. This is my daily driver. I drive about 1,000 miles a week with this, and I do all kinds of different repairs. I do all kinds of hauling and towing. This is a 95K 3500 dually, and this thing is awesome. I really love it. So PMDs, you'll also need a relocation kit. So here's the harness where you plug in to the connector for the normally mounted PMD, and then my harness now goes up through the firewall and into the cab of the truck. But yep, so PMDs, if you any kind of check engine light or any kind of drivability problem or crank no start, start with the PMD. This is like 90% of the time, this is the problem. So I hope you learned something from this video, and take care.